Hello everyone. Today I am resetting up my drum kit. I needed to play the other drums and to do some stuff with it, so that required these coming down. And then I always start out with these three: the bass, the snare, the hi-hat. What I would do, I would set the bass up basically where I want it to set, or set me up. In other words, you just set the stool down where that I'm comfortable. I'm not going to be hitting this wall, or I ain't going to be hitting nothing behind me. Okay? You know, you want to allow elbow room, I call it. And you don't want your stool on the side of something that you're going to fall off the stage, okay? Very important little tips there. So you find your location, you set your seat to where that you are comfortable, you're not, elbowing anything or getting off a little bit and part of your kit falls off the stage, or even worse, you. Okay, so once you do that, you will get the bass drum where it works for you. Now I'm just saying that this is how that it works for me. As me and another fellow drummer said the other day, we were talking about the right way and the wrong way, and then, well, my way. And that's a saying that my dad has said over the years. Lord, I don't have any time. Son, there's three ways of doing things now. That would be the right way, the wrong way, and then my way. And I've found that to be very true in life. Okay, once you get comfortable with the bass, and where your foot is happy on the bass pedal, good. Okay, and then we are going to start working. Me, I always pull the hi-hat around and get it to where I'm comfortable. Then I will pull the snare around and get it the way that I like it. Then I just play just a little bit, and I'm going to try to do this softly because this mic is very sensitive. And how you play, you kind of want to. You want to get it to where it works for you. And I'm bad to be a player, come up do that thing there, so it has to work. Okay. And then another little tip, I like to play in the center of the snare as much as possible. I will see a lot of snares that were they played up here, or played down low, or over here. The best sound is bullseye, right in the middle, right? Or pretty close. Now, when you're doing rows, you may come up here and then come down, but you want it to where that much works for you, okay? Once you get that, you just work your toms, your cymbals in around all of this. After you think you've got it, you will want to, the ride, that's very important, where that you got it. You want it to where when you're playing, that you can come over. See, most likely the ride is going to be right in here. And I want to hit about halfway. If I'm playing, I can jump to the bell. I'll hit the edge. So when I set my ride up, I will kind of just be playing, just like I come off of this, come over on the ride and kind of do that a little. And that lets me know pretty well where to put the ride. Something said too, depending on how you got your tom set up, where the ride will be. Okay, so I'm going to work my toms in, work my ride in, and then work the cymbals in. And then I will be back in a moment to save on time to where that this thing don't run forever. Then you want to get this tom here, for me, it depends on how you set in your kit up. If you have got one up, two down, you will want to get this one set the way that you like it. Then you will bring your ride in to get that to work. But the ride will be located right here. And I said that it would be. Now, I apologize for this lousy audio. I don't have these mics that's set up right now. It's all unplugged, so I apologize for this terrible audio. I hope that it's heard enough to understand. Okay, so for me, for right now, I'm going to get this one, tom 2, be one here, and tom 2, and then a floor tom. Okay. The reason I'm doing this one next is this is going to determine where your ride sits. Now I said the ride would be right along in here, and that's going to be about right where you play. Okay. But I want to get the tom to where it works for me. But when you're coming around it, I may have to set this, say for instance, I'm playing, and okay. Once again, you want to tweak this where it works for you. Once again, I want to try to get it to where that when I'm coming around, I'm going to hit the center closest possible, the bullseye. Okay? That's the main sweet spot on acoustic drums. And usually on E drums, because they have got it triggered to where it triggers the best, where it is in the center. If they've got little sensors around or one in the middle, offset, whatever. It is programmed to where that it works best in the middle, just like acoustics does. Okay, so I'm going to get this tom to where I'm happy. And, you know, you may tweak all of this back out a little bit along as you work everything else in. That's just giving you a starting point. And once again, this is how it works best for me. Okay, I'm going to get the other tom up, ride, and then I will be right back. Okay, I now have set my ride up and my floor tom, because we want all of this to work together, right? So, you know, once again, let's go around until it works for you. A little tip on the ride, if you're using this is a 22-inch ride. If you're using a bigger ride, you need to take consideration of, you don't want to cover up a whole lot of your floor tom. Because when you really get to playing hard, you'll be playing. You get the point. It will be a hanging and causing problems. I've got this and sticking over just a little far. Like I said, though, you're going to tweak them out. And you want to make sure that it's clear of anything hitting. Cymbal things, cymbal stands, any hardwire, anything that may damage the ride. And once again, you want the ride to work for you. I like to play it. I tilt it a little like this. That way I can be playing, come down and catch the edge. If I'm playing, I like to play hitting kind of like this, where I can hit the tip. You know, if I'm playing, I want to hit the bell. You want all of that to work for you. You don't want to have to, you know, look for it or feel for it while you're playing, because you want it to where that it works for you. Right? Okay, so other than going back with this a little bit, I think it's pretty well going to work. Okay, we now have our hi-hat, snare, bass drum, a tom, a floor tom, and then the ride cymbal to work for us. This is how I do it. So what I'm going to do next is bring the tom 2 in, and then bring the cymbals in. And I normally like at least 3 cymbals. I don't like them like all around me. I've tried that one time, and this poor little brain didn't know which one to hit. So, you know, if I hit a small, well, you get the point. Okay, but, you know, you want the hardwire, the cymbals, the toms that work for you for the purpose that you are doing this. But if you are gigging, you also set it up to where it works for the band, especially the band. Because if you want to gig with them, if you want to be a part of that band, you the drummer, you in the back. So you know, work with the band, work for what works for you. Enough said. Let's get this kit the rest of the way set up. Okay. Okay. At this point, I've kind of got my kit set up to where that perhaps it will work for me, other than maybe adjusting a few little cymbals, such as this one, you know, just level them up a little bit, you know, where they work for you. Just a little tip on, you know, I was talking earlier about setting your toms up, and I'm sure the camera will show, but see, when I come around the kit, sticks are, see, they kind of fit right along in here. They're not digging in like this. If you got them way up and tilted, it's going to be. But if that is what works for you, that's fine. On the cymbals real quick, and then we're going to switch. I'm going to plug the mixer up, the mics, what few I got, and we're going to give this a little try to see where we are at. I'm not going to go around the kit in any particular thing or rhythm or timing or anything such that. I'm just playing around with the drums to see how it works for me hitting different places. So, folks, one last tip and we'll switch it over. On the cymbals, toms, I done went over the toms, but the cymbals. Now, a lot of people will set their cymbals up high and straight. This is what's going to happen. You're going to be hitting right straight into your cymbal if they up real high without a tilt. Now, if you like them up high, throw a little tilt to them. That's your preference. Up high, tilted, down low, flat. That is where you are comfortable playing. I'm kind of in the middle of the road. What I do, though, on the sticks, and I hope that the camera shows it, but maybe I can zoom it in and make it work. But when I'm setting up my crashes and things, I don't want to hit right straight into them because I usually use thinner crashes. Okay, and they are easier busted or cracked. Okay, so what I do, I make sure I do this when maybe the camera will pick it up. Where the drumstick will come into it about like this. Not flat like this, but at a 20 or 30 degree angle, say. That when you hit it, when you come down, your stick will hit kind of not plumb on the edge, but at an angle on the edge. Then when it tilts, the tip of the drumstick will hit also. Also, when you got it set like this, that gives you the, if you are doing a little effect, that gives you the ability to do that as well. Okay, folks, enough said. Let's get this switched over, and I'm just going to go around the kit, and from there I will start tweaking all of this in. If this needs to come in or out, the ride needs to go over or whatever, little tip on your cymbals and ride. You don't want, here's what I found that happens to me. I will be playing, and I will come in on the bass, and then I will be hitting these. So you want enough of space in between them, and still in between the toms that you're not coming around and hitting the cymbals. It can happen anyway. Or when you're working the bell, you get the picture. Let's switch it over and let's play around with it and tweak it out, okay? Have a good one. Also, as you can see, after you get your drums the way that you like them, if you are doing recordings with cameras and things, mics such as that, you're going to have to set them up to where that they work great as well, or as best as possible. As you can see, the back camera is out of whack. So that requires me going way up there on the ladder and adjusting it. But that's part of it, okay? So, but don't adjust none of that. Don't adjust your cameras until you got your kit the way you want it, because if you have to come back and tweak one of these in, that's going to throw your cameras right off once again. So play a few songs, work your way around the kit a few times, make sure it's where you want it before you set your cameras, okay? Thought I'd throw that in there, and we'll see you on the next drum cover.